Now, Jim, we've seen a big run-up in Hess recently. Back in November, you talked about that it was one of the big underperformers.
Right.
What do you think here?
Okay, I think that people have to recognize that Hess is the great pioneer of finding lots of oil in this country. They had biggest holdings in the Bakken, which I think is worth a tremendous amount. Second largest find, maybe the largest find in the last 50 years. Hess has not been able to exploit it the way it should. Hess has a huge number of properties overseas. Again, not been able to exploit them the way they should. So this Elliott hedge funds come in and basically said, listen, we're going to have a proxy fight. But the undercurrent the whole time is you should sell the company. And the company's worth substantially more than it's selling for. That's why we featured it here on Real Money. It's why we featured it on Mad Money. I think Hess can easily get to 86 where it was before we had this agitation. Don't forget, they're getting out of a very low margin refining and going to be able to concentrate on what they have. So you can win either way. They either get sold or they start bringing out the value of their properties. And that's why this is such an exciting story, and people should not leave it yet.
Yeah, and just quickly, you mentioned that the refining spinoff is actually what catapulted our initial interest. We saw that with Conoco and Marathon. Do you think that Hess can create value in that same way?
Look at Phillips 66 today.
Yeah.
I mean, what a remarkable quarter.
Great quarter.
CVRR just rang the bell today. Remarkable. Valero, amazing. These refining companies do great, but Hess's refining was refining imported expensive oil.
Right.
These other guys were refining cheap domestic oil. So you've got this terrible mismatch where Hess is selling expensive oil at the pump, not making much money. The other guys are selling cheap oil from domestic, making a fortune. So I think that this clarifies the structure of Hess. Look, let's leave it like this. Hess should be at 85, 86. It's going to get there. People are downgrading it. People think that it isn't worth that much. They're underrating these assets. Hess has fabulous assets.
Great. Well, we'll keep an eye on Hess and if they can unlock the value of its underlying assets, as Jim says.